There's something nobody wants to feel, something we run from, numb, suppress, and avoid at all costs. Pain. We treat it like an enemy, a curse, a punishment. But what if I told you that pain is none of those things? Pain is a gift. I know that sounds insane. You're probably thinking, how can heartbreak be a gift? How can losing someone, being betrayed, being broke, getting rejected again and again be a gift? Because pain, when embraced, not avoided, becomes fuel. It becomes fire. It becomes the catalyst that wakes up the sleeping giant within you. Think back. Really think. What moment in your life shaped you the most? Was it comfort? Was it everything going your way? Or was it that rock bottom moment? That breakup? That failure? That moment when you didn't know how you'd get through the night? You see, pain is not here to destroy you. It's here to sculpt you. It carves out the parts of you that are ready to evolve. It doesn't come to break you down. It comes to wake you up. Pain says, wake up. You're stronger than this. Wake up. You're meant for more. Wake up. You've been asleep in your potential. Let me ask you a question. What if the pain you're experiencing right now isn't a punishment, but preparation? What if life isn't happening to you, but for you? Every great achiever, every legend, every powerful soul you admire has walked through the fire. No exceptions. Because pain is the price of growth. If you're feeling pain right now, congratulations. That means you're alive. That means you care. That means there's still something in you worth fighting for. See, the problem is not pain. The problem is the meaning we attach to it. You can choose to let it define you, or you can decide to let it drive you. You can say, this is the end, or you can rise and declare, this is the beginning. Pain is feedback. It's life's way of saying, there's something you need to look at, there's a lesson here, there's power here, there's growth here, and when you finally stop resisting and start listening, the transformation begins. The truth is, comfort has never created greatness. Comfort has never built empires. But pain breaks you down to build you back 10 times stronger. It's in the pain that you learn patience. It's in the struggle that you discover a strategy. It's in the tears that you build toughness. You know what pain teaches you? It teaches you who your real friends are. It teaches you what matters. It teaches you resilience, grit, clarity. Pain forces you to go deeper. It burns off the shallow stuff and reveals your essence. Most people avoid pain by staying small. They don't chase their dreams because it might hurt. But listen, what's more painful? The effort of chasing your dream, or the regret of never trying. That's the choice. When you stop fearing pain, you become limitless. Because now you're not avoiding life. You're using the heartbreak, the failure, the rejection, not as reasons to quit, but as reasons to rise. If you've been through hell, good. Now don't stop there. Keep going. Don't let that pain go to waste. Don't numb it. Don't hide it. Don't run from it. Use it. Let your pain become your purpose. Let your struggle become someone else's survival guide. You've been given this fire for a reason. Maybe it wasn't fair, maybe it wasn't your fault, but it is your fight. And you've got what it takes. The strongest souls are forged in the hottest fires. The deepest wisdom comes from the darkest nights. And the greatest stories are written by those who refused to give up when it hurt. So stand up, wipe the tears, straighten your spine, and say, this pain will not break me. It will build me. Because pain is not the enemy. It is the reminder that you still feel, that you still believe, that you still have something left inside you worth fighting for. Use that. Don't just survive it, transform with it. Pain is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your comeback. It's the seed of your power. It's your hidden ally, disguised as discomfort, showing you the doorway to your next evolution. So next time life hits you, and it will, don't say, why me? Say, try me. Because you know the truth now. Pain isn't your curse. Pain is your gift. Pain is not a punishment, it's preparation. This truth, once fully understood, changes the entire way we move through life. We're conditioned to see pain as something negative, something that should be avoided, numbed, or eliminated. We treat it like a punishment for doing something wrong or for not being enough. But pain isn't there to punish you, it's there to shape you, sharpen you, prepare you for the version of yourself you've been avoiding. When life introduces pain into your path, it's because there's a deeper version of you that cannot be reached through comfort. Pain is the pressure that creates diamonds, the fire that tempers steel, the silence that reveals your true voice. People who have never faced pain may look fine on the outside, but they lack depth, compassion, and resilience. It's those who've been tested, those who've faced loss, failure, disappointment, betrayal. Those are the ones with roots deep enough to stand through the storm. Pain prepares you to handle what's coming next. You may not understand it when you're in it, but there's something being built inside of you that comfort could never teach. There's a strength being cultivated, a wisdom being formed, an awareness being birthed that would have stayed asleep without the discomfort. You're not being punished, you're being positioned. When something is taken from you, it's because something greater is being made space for. You're not losing, you're learning. You're not failing, you're forging. Pain forces clarity. It strips away what doesn't matter and exposes what does. It burns away the illusions and reveals the truth. And in that truth, you find what you're truly capable of. Pain prepares you for the pressure of the next level, for the responsibility of success, for the weight of leadership. Without that preparation, you'd crumble, you'd self-sabotage, you'd fold under the very blessing you're asking for. So many people pray for strength, but then run from the very pain that builds it. They ask for growth, but avoid the lessons wrapped in discomfort. Growth doesn't come wrapped in ease. It's disguised as chaos, wrapped in struggle, delivered through heartbreak. And if you're not careful, you'll miss the gift because you're so focused on the wrapping. But if you shift your perspective, you start to see the patterns. You realize every painful moment in your life didn't come to destroy you. It came to reveal something inside of you didn't know was there. Think about the moments in your life where everything fell apart. Now think about what came after. The insight, the maturity, the boundaries you learned to set, the people you learned to let go of, the power you reclaimed. Pain was never about punishment. It was about power. Power you didn't know you had. Pain trains your mind to be unshakable. It prepares your emotions to be balanced. It prepares your soul to be aligned. Because when you've already been through the worst, you become fearless. When you've lost everything and survived, you stop being scared of losing. You stop being desperate to be liked, accepted, or validated. Pain prepares you to stand on your own. And preparation isn't glamorous. It's not supposed to feel good. Just like athletes go through grueling training before the championship, you're being trained. Every hardship is shaping your mental muscles. Every rejection is refining your focus. Every failure is a foundation. If life gave you everything you wanted without the pain, you wouldn't have the strength to hold it. You wouldn't have the capacity to keep it. The weight of the dream would crush you because the roots wouldn't be deep enough. Pain is what deepens the roots. It's what builds the vessel. It's the silent architect of your future self. Comfort creates complacency, but pain builds strength. When life is too easy, when everything flows without resistance, we may feel safe, but we don't grow. We settle. We accept less than we're capable of. We stop reaching. Comfort is seductive. It whispers that you're okay where you are, that there's no need to push, no need to stretch, no need to become more. But inside that comfort, something silently dies. Pride begins to fade. Hunger turns into laziness. Potential turns into regret. Without resistance, there's no reason to dig deep. And without digging deep, you never uncover what you're truly made of. The greatest strength in the world doesn't come from ease. It comes from effort. It comes from facing challenge after challenge and refusing to quit. It comes from standing in the storm, not because you enjoy the chaos, but because something in you knows that every storm leaves you stronger, every setback sharpens you. Every painful experience strengthens your will, your discipline, your focus. You don't get strong by avoiding pain. You get strong by enduring it, by overcoming it, by learning to walk through it with your head high. Pain is what activates the strength that comfort hides. When everything goes right, you rarely question anything. You coast. You assume things will continue to go well. But when pain hits, you're forced to adapt. You're forced to evaluate, to rethink, to rebuild. And in that process, your mental muscles begin to grow. You learn resourcefulness. You learn patience. You learn persistence. These qualities are not born in peace. They are forged in fire. That's why the strongest people you meet often carry the deepest scars. Because they've had to fight their way forward. They've had to fall and crawl and bleed and still keep going. Not because it was easy, but because something inside them refused to stay down. Comfort might feel good temporarily, but it robs you of the urgency to change. It tricks you into believing that tomorrow can wait. It steals the intensity you need to move forward. Pain does the opposite. It makes you move. It demands action. When you're in pain, you don't sit around waiting. You seek answers. You pursue healing. You ask better questions. You build better habits. You create structure. Pain lights a fire under your potential and forces you to become intentional. You stop drifting and start designing. You stop wishing and start working. You see it everywhere. The entrepreneur who started with nothing but a dream and a pile of failures, the athlete who was told they'd never make it but trained harder after every loss, the single parent who rebuilt their life one broken piece at a time, the visionary who was laughed at, rejected, ignored, but turned every no into fuel. These people weren't born extraordinary. They became extraordinary because pain demanded they become more than average. Strength isn't some magical gift you're born with. It's the result of how many times you've been knocked down and chosen to rise. The problem with the comfort-first mindset is that it tricks you into thinking ease is the goal. But real fulfillment doesn't come from ease. It comes from evolution, from knowing you faced the hard things and didn't run, from knowing you pushed beyond what felt possible, from seeing who you became because you didn't let the pain stop you. Strength isn't built in comfort zones. It's built when your back is against the wall and you decide not to break. When you take the weight you were never supposed to carry and turn it into a weapon. When you take the pain you thought would destroy you and use it as the very reason you rise. You can't grow if you don't hurt. Growth requires discomfort. And pain is the signal that something is shifting, something is stretching beyond its current limit. Without that tension, without that struggle, you remain the same. It's easy to wish for growth, to talk about becoming better, but real transformation doesn't happen in the realm of comfort. It happens when you're pushed past what you thought you could handle. It happens when your patience is tested, when your plans fall apart, when life throws the unexpected, and you have no choice but to respond. Those are the moments where growth isn't a choice, it's a necessity. If you look at nature, every seed that becomes a tree has to break open first. Every muscle that becomes stronger has to be torn through resistance. Every muscle that becomes a butterfly has to fight through the cocoon. Nothing grows without first experiencing some kind of pain. It's not just part of the process, it is the process. You can't become mentally strong without emotional pain. You can't build resilience without setbacks. You can't know your own courage until you've been afraid. That hurt you feel is not a sign to stop. It's a sign you're in motion. Growth is happening under the surface, even when all you feel is pressure. People often want change without the cost. They want results without the sacrifice. But there's a price for every level of transformation. And that price is usually pain, whether it's the pain of letting go, the pain of discipline, the pain of healing, or the pain of rejection. It's all part of the exchange. You give up who you were to become who you're meant to be. That shift is uncomfortable. That transition can feel like loss, but it's not loss, it's evolution. You outgrow who you once were so you can hold the weight of your next season. That stretch is not optional, it's essential. The truth is, most people don't grow because they fear pain. They fear what it will feel like to change, to challenge themselves, to fail in front of others. But the real pain is staying stuck. The real pain is not stepping into your potential. The pain of regret lasts far longer than the pain of discipline or risk. You might hurt in the process of growing, but you'll suffer if you avoid it. There's a difference between pain that breaks you and pain that builds you. Growth pain builds. It strengthens you mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It teaches you how to adapt, how to bounce back, how to trust yourself in the middle of chaos. Think about every meaningful lesson in your life. Did you learn it in moments of ease or in moments of adversity? Chances are it was pain that taught you the most. Pain taught you to pay attention. Pain taught you boundaries. Pain taught you to stop tolerating less. Pain taught you to appreciate the moments of peace because you earned them. Growth comes with a cost, but it also comes with a reward. The reward is not just success. The reward is self-confidence. It's the quiet knowing that you didn't quit when it hurt, that you didn't stay in one place because it was safe, that you walked into the unknown and came out better, wiser, and stronger. You can't grow if you don't hurt, because pain forces you to confront the truth. It forces you to make decisions. It forces you to rise. It reveals the parts of you that are still fragile and gives you the chance to fortify them. Every step into growth demands a step away from comfort. That means risk. That means resistance. That means walking through the pain instead of around it. The reward on the other side isn't just a better life, it's a better you. And that version of you can only be born through the fire. Rock bottom isn't the end. It's the foundation for your rise. Hitting rock bottom feels like the world has collapsed beneath you. Everything you depended on disappears. The support systems you leaned on vanish. The identity you clung to shatters. It feels like failure, like defeat, like everything is over. But what if it's not the end at all? What if it's the beginning of something deeper, stronger, and more real than anything you've built before? Rock bottom strips away illusions. It removes the noise. It forces you to look at yourself without filters, without distractions, without excuse. It demands truth. It demands clarity. You can't pretend at rock bottom. You can't lie to yourself anymore. All that's left is you, raw, exposed, and ready for a decision. When there's nothing left to lose, you gain a rare kind of freedom. The freedom to create without fear of judgment. The freedom to create without needing permission. The freedom to decide who you want to be without carrying the weight of who you used to be. Rock bottom clears the space. It empties your hands so you can start grabbing hold of what actually matters. It reveals what's real and what was just comfort, just noise, just distraction. It gives you the rare opportunity to start again, not from weakness, but from wisdom. The most powerful people are not the ones who've never fallen. They're the ones who've fallen hard, shattered completely, and still found a reason to stand. They've stared at the ruins of their old life and decided to build something better, not because they weren't scared, but because they refused to stay down. At rock bottom, you meet the version of yourself you didn't know existed. The one who keeps breathing through the panic. The one who keeps going even when there's no applause. The one who digs deep, not because they're fearless, but because there's no other choice but to move forward. Most people avoid pain because they think it means something's wrong. But rock bottom is the signal that something old is ending so something new can begin. It's the breakdown before the breakthrough. It's the empty field before the new seeds are planted. It's the winter before the spring. If you don't resist it, if you don't numb it, if you don't rush through it, you'll find that rock bottom is not a curse, it's a mirror. It shows you who you've been and invites you to decide who you'll become. In that space, you develop resilience. You build patience. You learn how to sit in the dark without losing your light. You learn that your value doesn't disappear when things fall apart. You learn that worth isn't based on outcomes, it's based on your ability to rise again and again. At rock bottom, you stop asking for easier paths and start asking for stronger legs. You stop craving escape and start crafting endurance. You stop playing small because now you know that survival isn't enough. You're meant to thrive. Rock bottom becomes a foundation when you realize it's not the end of your story, it's the chapter where the hero finds their power. The place where transformation starts. The moment where everything begins to shift. It's where you stop running from yourself and start running toward your purpose. It's not pretty and it's not easy, but it's real. It's honest. And it's where true greatness begins to grow. What's built from rock bottom carries weight, carries depth, carries meaning. It's not built to impress, it's built to last.